The program is guidelines. People have to follow the guidelines. We have to make sure the money goes to the people who need it most. We're going to start with funding the poorest tenants and then work our way up, which we think is fair. And the funding will be out by August 31st. On the Department of Justice announced over the weekend that they will not
Well, Max is getting better and better with the camera angles and that on those. Good morning. Good morning. Well, yep, this is the day. They have decided that the hearings are going on today. And I'm going to ignore them. I'm going to ignore the kangaroo court that Pelosi put up. It's just going to feed the red meat to the left. That's all it's there for. Everybody on that committee voted for Trump's impeachment. You got Adam the Penis Schiff, who held secret hearings, went on every network multiple times, dozens of times, saying how he had concrete proof of Trump's conspiracy with Russia, but never presented it to the American people. At best, it got presented during the secret hearings. Then you got this other Yahoo from the second hearing. And, and of course, the only two Republicans that Pelosi accepted, both of which she personally picked, and both of which voted for Trump's impeachment. Anybody who was a Trump supporter, Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz, and such, Pelosi refused a seat. So how can you have a legitimate hearing without hearing all sides? If you're only presenting the prosecution, it's not a legitimate hearing. You're only presenting the Democratic side, it's not a legitimate hearing. You got nobody there to present or question facts, it's not a legitimate hearing. And they lied automatically right off the beginning when they said multiple people died as a result. only one person, well, two people. Yeah, Raskin. That's the idiot. I couldn't remember his name. Yeah. Uh, thanks, Sean. Yep, Raskin was, you know, uh, the only person who actually died that day was a protester shot by an unknown uh, agent of the federal government. To this day, the name and position that person holds has not been released to the American public. Then, of course, that's Snick Nick, who had a stroke and died the following day or a couple of days later. All right, that's it. That's the only two deaths actually connected to. Now you got a couple of suicides by some Capitol Hill police. But how do you know? I mean, no, as far as the American public knows, there's no suicide notes saying as why they committed suicide. And there's been a couple of people who have cynically started spreading rumors, conspiracies that a couple of these people died of Hillary Clinton disease. Whatever. So, other than railing at the absolute bias of this hearing, I've got nothing to say about it. I've got I probably won't be saying much because they don't want their lies refuted. Nobody on the left's going to listen to the lies, the refuting of the lies. This here is just red meat. The economy is going in the tanks. The price of living, the cost of living is going through the roof. I'm already paying $7 more a week just for gasoline than what I was prior to Biden taking office. That's $1 a week increase or $1 a month increase. I could go into the grocery store. I go grocery shopping every Friday to prepare 5 days worth of meals for the wife and I, and pick up snacks and whatever. And I could, up in the last grocery trip before Biden was sworn in, I spent $105, and 20 of that was putting money back on my gas card. This last trip, last week, to the same grocery store, cost me $160, with $30 of that going on to the gas card. And that's what, 6-7 months now Biden's been in office. So you can't tell me the prices increases aren't real. You can't tell me that's not hitting people in the wallet. It's hitting me in the wallet. $60 a week is a lot of money when that's at one stop. I can't go to my boss and ask for a $60 a week pay raise. Well, I could, but he's not going to give it to me. So, yeah, no. This is not what, well, this is what we've got, whether we like it or not. And there's enough people in the media and everywhere else that's happy with the way things going. I'm not, obviously, and several million other people are not, but we don't count. We don't matter, at least not until next set of elections in a year and a half. And by God, I hope like hell we vote out the Democrats in both the House and Senate. That's what I've got to say about that. It's been an interesting week. Uh, I Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Wow, has this been fun? A lot of people are pushing about this hearing, so that's been making up most of the news. That's been making up most of what's everything going on. And then this morning, a former Wyoming senator died, and supposedly, uh, boxer was, shall we say, accosted and robbed. So, but what can I say? We're we're just going to sit back and we'll give this a ride. The CDC is starting to. Well, Sean, I think that there's been enough states pushing election reform that it's going to make it a hell of a lot harder for the Democrats to do a whole bunch of stealing. I think they realized this was a one-time shot for them, and they made the best of it they could. They made the sorry, they made the best of it that they could. And they barely held on to the house. They barely took over the House and Senate. Barely. So history stands to the truth. I don't think they're going to hold on to the House and Senate in a year and a half. And Texas has got their thing. Georgia's got their thing. Florida's doing theirs. Oh, I tend to be more of a fatalist also. That's why the boss loves me at work, because while he and his wife have a tendency to look at the brighter side, I'm sitting there going, now wait a second, what about this? And what about that? And what if this person does this? So, and of course, when I say that, I've got ideas for how to protect ourselves, but they're not always ideas they like to hear. But what can you say? I do the best that I can. This Delta variant, the CDC is looking to start doing a power grab again. The Democrats want to go back to mask mandates. And it's interesting how this is happening. Let's listen to Jen Psaki here for a second.
professionals are saying that there should.
Whoops.
A group of healthcare professionals are saying that there should be mandates for all who work in the healthcare system because of what they say is an ethical need to do so, to be.
An ethical need. I love listening to Democrats talk about ethics and the ethical need. You know, I know Republicans aren't exactly the most, I'm sorry, most ethical people in the world. But compared to Democrats, there's no two ways about it. And when they're trying to push an agenda like this, think about it. These doctors have not had so much power over the nation as they have right now. They've got more power than they've ever had before.
Vaccinated. And we see that there are local communities that are bringing mask mandates or recommendations. So are we at a point where Americans should be looking to professional organizations, businesses, and local officials for guidance on what to do more than the federal government at this point?
But see, now, that, at least she's asking the right question. You know, should it be the local people? Should Americans be looking to the locals, the people down close to them? And the answer to that is unmitigated yes. Unmitigated. The federal government should not have a say in this. The CDC should not have a say in this.
Well, first, I would say we would hope that the guidance is aligned with. There are going to be localities that have higher rates of outbreaks that they may make additional recommendations. They may take steps to keep their communities safe. We certainly have seen, as you noted, that there are institutions, including across the health industry, as many of you may have seen today, 57 leading healthcare groups, including the American Medical Association, the American College of Physicians, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and the American Public Health Association, all called for all healthcare and long-term care employees to mandate employees be vaccinated against COVID. Now that.
And I don't have a problem, so to speak, as big of a problem with people involved with healthcare having to have the vaccine done. All right. Again, I think it should be personal choice. But people involved with patients who are already sick, whose immune systems are already weakened for one reason or another, I do have less of a problem with them having to have the mandates for the vaccine.
That is the healthcare industry, where they are very much on the front lines. And these actions, in our view, are meant to keep patients and employees safe. And in fact, I expect our own federal healthcare providers may look at similar requirements as they do with other vaccines. As it relates to what the American people should look to, look, the CDC is looking at data across the country. They provide broad public health guidance, not based on
guidance, huh? Like telling landlords they can't evict people that aren't paying their rent. Really, that's, that had to force a law behind it, remember? It had to go to the Supreme Court. Remember? No. The CDC, y'all have given the CDC way too much power here. And when I say y'all, I mean y'all up there in D.C., Republicans and Democrats. And like any other group that gets power, they want more, and they rarely, if ever, arbitrate or rarely, if ever, do they rein in the use of their power.
politics driven by science and data, and they make updates when they feel it is necessary to make the updates, and then localities will apply that.
Are you suggesting perhaps the VA would be making a similar recommendation or requirement? Is that what you're hinting at there?
Well, I think
The VA's already made it a requirement that all their people get vaccinated.
I think there'll be more to say in the coming days on that, Kelly. But I will tell you that we certainly believe that that health officials are on the front lines of being vulnerable to getting COVID, and we certainly support these actions by these hospital associations.
Does the White House view it as a benefit if employers, as varied as the NFL to hospitals, are trying to push vaccination? Would that close the gap, in your view, with some of those who've not yet done so for a variety of reasons? I mean, do you see this as another level?
Yada, yada. Okay. They're just trying to get, the stunt the NFL is pulling. I wish they'd done that with the Black Lives Matter and the kneeling and the flags and all that crap. If your people do it, they forfeit. And they don't get paid. I wish they'd done that then. I mean, the NFL is a private organization. They can do with as they wish. But much like baseball, well, now thanks to go a little sideline here. If didn't hear, Cleveland Indians are no more after this season. They are becoming the Cleveland Guardians. And I have watched my last baseball game. I've never been a big baseball fan, but I've always watched the Indians, like I've always watched the Cavs. I've always watched my Browns. But I can't watch, and when the Indians gave up Chief Wahoo a year or so ago, all right. But now they're changing the name. That I can't do nothing about that. I just can't watch anymore. That's not going to be the team that I grew up with. But private organizations can make up their own decisions. And as much as we like it or don't like it, they are still private organizations. And if my boss decided that anybody that has to work for him has to get the shot, well, I'll pull out my vaccination card and I show them I got both my shots. I tried to be, I loved playing basketball. I was just never good at it. The only shots I could make were what would now be considered 3-point shots. I could not make anything up close. And being as I was one of the tallest kids in my class, they always wanted me up underneath the basket. And I sucked. I was horrible at it. So, yeah, I was always jealous of the people that could play basketball. Always jealous of them. Because that was something I always wanted to do. Now, as far as, the Browns games, I used to go to all the home games when I was young, growing up. Went to all the home games and went to the games in Pittsburgh. So that's just part of my childhood that I fondly remember. My dad, my two brothers, and I going to the ball games every year. So then watching, and I knew the family of one of the Cavs player. And in fact, I put a big almost on that, almost dated his sister. So, yeah, and the Indians, we watched Indians games growing up. It wasn't a whole other, remember, when you only have 3 TV stations, there wasn't a whole, and the Indians were on, there wasn't anything else really to watch. But we see Saki there. She's all for it. She'd really love to say that the federal government should be requiring these mask mandates and everything else. But look what happens when she gets asked questions about stuff going on at the White House and within the federal government.
The White House had any additional staffers test positive for COVID-19?
I think, again, our policy, just to reiterate,
Now, they've had several people, quote unquote, several people test positive. They will not say how many or what their actual positions are if they come in contact with Biden or with Kamala, or if they come in contact with people who come in contact with them. 2, 3, 4 degrees of separation. So, yeah, this is that she loves keeping that bit a secret, and she's going to tell them.
to reiterate it, which we announced last week, is that if there's an individual who has close proximity to any of the 4 principles as defined by the White House Medical Unit in line with CDC guidelines on what that looks like, we will then make that information available and immediately public to all of you. So that has not been the case since we announced that policy, no.
And then just
one, this administration has long claimed that you're trying to be the most transparent in history. If that's the case, why won't you just release the number of breakthrough cases that you've had of vaccinated staffers?
Well, I think first we're in a very different place than we were.
Why won't you release the numbers of staffers? Oh, well, this isn't then.
6 to 7 months ago as it relates to the virus.
But you want everybody to start masking up. You're pushing the line that everybody has to mask up again, whether or not you got vaccinated.
And as many medical experts have said, inside and outside of the government, those who are vaccinated are protected from serious illness. Most are asymptomatic if they are individuals who are vaccinated who get the virus.
Then why are you wanting people to mask up? Huh? Why are you wanting people to mask up again?
We are in a different place in terms of the impact of individuals who may have, as you said, breakthrough cases.
Why not just provide the number? Are you trying to hide something?
No, but why do you need to have that information?
Because it should be public information. If you're keeping it a secret, why are you keeping it a secret? By the way, I love the facial expressions on this woman over here. I wish I knew what that facial expression meant.
Information.
Case of transparency, the interest of the public, having a better understanding of how breakthrough cases work here in the White House.
Well, first, there are the CDC tracks, and let me give you this information too. The CDC tracks across the country, of course, hospitalization.
Not asking about cross country, or asking about what's going on inside the White House.
And deaths, as we have seen. They also do a great deal of tracking in cohorts and ensure that. So let me give you a little more information on this, which I think, I don't know if hopefully it's of interest. So the way that, because people have asked this before, so the way the CDC is actively tracking breakthrough cases, there are tens of thousands of people across the country.
They're not asking what the CDC is tracking across the country. They're asking what's going on in the White House. But you notice how nobody is interrupting her and trying to get her back on point.
Country, of course, who are in what they call cohort studies, which the CDC is actively monitoring. For example, the CDC has a long-term care facility study where it is getting data from more than 14,000 long-term care facilities. CDC has a healthcare worker study where they monitor vaccinated healthcare workers who get tested with PCR tests every single week. And CDC also collects what they call passive surveillance, which is where hospitals provide.
And how many people in the White House? How many White House staffers have gotten sick?
CDC with data when they identify someone who is hospitalized but has been vaccinated. So there's a range of means our public health officials are tracking across the country, across DC, across any individual.
And what about White House staffers?
Individuals here about who is vaccinated, who is getting the virus, getting hospitalized. Hopefully not. It remains a small percentage.
And following up on the questions about endodarmium, as art shows, are there any specific procedures you can tell us that are being put in place to ensure that these conversations remain, as you say, not about the sales? Will he get ethics training? Will he have to report afterwards about the conversations? Anything specific you can tell us about how you are monitoring this?
Well, again, I think it is certainly a commitment that has been made by all parties involved. He is not involved in the sale or discussions about the sale of his art.
We talked about the breakthrough case on the campus here and that you acknowledged there were additional breakthrough cases. Can you give us now the number of breakthrough cases that have occurred during the Biden presidency?
Well, I would say first that our medical experts, our health experts have been conveying from the beginning, as
And that's not the question she asked.
have we, that there would be cases of individuals who are vaccinated who tested positive for COVID. There are 2,000 people who work on the campus. And of course, that means that just statistically speaking, there will be people who are vaccinated.
And how many are there that have gotten sick after getting vaccinated? How many are currently down with the COVID?
Individuals who get COVID on the campus. What I announced yesterday or conveyed yesterday was what our policy would be moving forward. But no, I don't think you can expect that we're going to be providing numbers of breakthrough cases. No.
Yeah, that's... Morning, Rex. How you doing today? Now, I think Sean has to do the caps in order to see him, Rex. If I remember correctly, Sean's got vision issues. And how are you doing this morning, Rex? I hope everything is well with you. Yeah, this is... This is not being a fun day, to be honest. But this kangaroo court... This is going to be a strange stream for me today. All right, Rex, let me tell you, I'm going to be all over the place. This is going to... Well, it may not be so strange because I usually am all over the place. Because I'm trying not to do too much with the kangaroo court. You know, I'm wanting to try to make this to get away from some of this crap that's actually going on. And let's talk about some of the things that, you know, at least that I think is a little more serious. The government intrusion here. into our lives, what they are doing and not doing. And like, they're all about the Pulaski up there. We need to know how many, why can't we know how many people who work at the White House are coming down with the vid? All right. Why aren't we talking more about the thousands of people coming across the border every day? I got into a discussion about that on online. You know, I feel bad for the people who are in these countries south of the border that are shitholes, to put it bluntly. But the United States is not the world's welfare queen, welfare giver outer, or whatever you want to call it. We've got too many problems right now here at home where we've got money that needs to be spent to take care of issues. And my cat just unplugged my mic. Okay. But yeah, we've and then Monkey brought it up on his stream, so I'm going to go ahead and bring it up on mine. Last week, him and I got into. I made a post on Twitter about. I went in to see a doctor's office. Never been in that office before in my life. If it wasn't for Waze, I would not have found that doctor's office. I had no clue where it was up until I had to get in the car, which is my own fault. I forgot to. I thought the appointment was in one place and it was somewhere else. Thank goodness for Waze. Pulled it up, got me there. Plenty of time for my appointment. And I introduced myself. And the receptionist, a young girl about 25 years old, called me by my first name. Now, if I was 25 years old, I'd want this young girl to call me by my first name. Because she has a cute little thing, pretty. Doctor offices normally don't hire ugly women. But I'm at least 40 years. I'm close enough to 40 years older than she is that I don't want her calling me by my first name. I've gotten a little funny about that here lately, past few years. I don't want an 18-year-old, 19-year-old coming in and calling me by my first name. Co-worker? Okay, that's one thing. But somebody I don't know, seen them for the first time in a doctor's office. What is wrong with Mr. Shroom? What's wrong with saying Mr.? I don't understand the issue with that. Common courtesy. I've worked on customer service since 1998 in one way, shape, and or form. I've got one customer in all those years that I used her first name. but I always put Miss in front of it whenever I spoke to her. And she specifically told me to call her by her first name. So I added the honorific Miss in front of it. This woman's probably 20 years older than I am. No, she's not even that, come to think of it. Maybe 10 years older than I am. But she was a customer. And even though we were very friendly with each other, she was still a customer. She was paying me to perform a service for her. She's paying the company I worked for to perform a service. I don't see the difference between that and going into a doctor's office for the first time. And then you're sitting out there in the waiting room. There's 8 or 9 of us sitting out there, 2 women, the rest of us men. And she comes out and calls out my first name. Now, my first name is fairly common. How do I know there's not 8 or, that at least one other person over there has got the same first name? Now, I do know that other than my son and myself and my grandson, we're the only males in this county with our same last name. So why not call us by our last names? To me, that's showing respect. And then I go back in the back. The woman puts me up on the scales. I've lost 10 more pounds. That's 50 pounds I've lost over the past year. Yay, me. Only twice that to go yet. Get back in again. This here's another young woman. Definitely under the age of 30. She calls me sweetie and hun. Excuse me? I'm not your sweetie and I'm not your hun. Those pet nicknames are reserved for my wife to call me. Or a woman twice my age. Or at least half again my age. If I'm not sleeping with you, you don't have the right to call me sweetie or hun. I don't care. Again, that's not showing me, where's the respect as a customer service provider to your customer? The guy that comes out and handles my air conditioner and heat system for the house. I've had the same guy doing it now for a couple of years. I've asked him to call me by my first name. I've gotten to know him. He's a good guy. He works with me when I do have an issue. And I appreciate it. I've asked him to call me by my first name. My mechanic, he calls me by my first name. I've been seeing him for 25 years. He's getting ready to retire. So I got to look for a new mechanic. What a gripe that's going to be. But my barber, I've been seeing my barber for 20 some years. She called me by my first name. She's retired. Now I'm looking for a new barber. I expect to be treated with a certain level of respect as a customer versus somebody who's my friend. Now online here, I'm known as Shroom. That's fine. Anybody and everybody can call me Shroom. I don't care. Some people like Pete Dog, he keeps throwing in there the original Shroom. Well, the only reason why I put the original in there is because Shroom itself was taken. But I don't see where it's a problem to expect to be called with Mr., Ms., Mrs., and your last name when you're walking into a business for the first time. I don't see where that should be an issue. I deal with customers my age and older all the time. I call them Mr., Ms., Mrs. by their last name, at least to their face. What I call them behind their back may be another story. But that's just one of my that's a pet peeve I've got. I don't like being called honey or sweetie by some woman that I've never met before. I don't want to be called by my first name again by somebody that I've never met before. And that's all there is to it. And I'm going to put that one to bed. Unless somebody else has got something they want to bring up about it. People are trying to really place blame for a lot of things. They're trying to place blame about COVID and not the blame of where did it start from and who's responsible for its release. They're not going that far. They're wanting to place blame for, well, this person isn't wearing a mask. They want to place blame, well, it's Republicans who are causing this COVID release, this COVID problem. Or it's those who refuse to get the vaccination. It's the guy who is refusing to wear the mask. How about you start being more concerned about what you're doing than what other people are doing? We all know, anybody with any common sense and a little bit of understanding knows that the mask that most people, including myself, were wearing did very, very little to protect the mask wearer. Did very little. It did a lot to protect other people around you. I was watching a discussion from a doctor this morning or the other day. He was saying that, and even the popular N95 masks aren't really that great for stopping this virus. He was saying you really need to go to the N100. But that's what we've got to do. Watch what you're doing yourself, not what other people are doing. If you need to wear a mask, you wear your mask. If you need to use hand sanitizer, you use your hand sanitizer. If you're scared of getting the virus, you get your vaccinations. You take all the steps that you need to protect yourself from getting, that you feel you can, to protect yourself from the virus. That's what you do. You telling me, quote unquote me, you going into somebody else's face that you don't think is doing enough, all that's not going to help the issue. That's if they're not going to do something just because you stand there and yell and scream at them. That's not going to stop it. That's not going to change them from doing something. Yelling and screaming at somebody's face does very little to change it. Morning, Kiever. How you doing today? We need to stop looking at yelling and screaming at each other. There, again, like I said, today I'm going to be all over the place because there's so many. I mean, no one thing has really gotten me all riled up, but it's a bunch of little things here and there. It's the race games. I'm so tired. Amazon pushing in that. Only 6% of Amazon business owners that they deal with are black. So now they're starting up a big push to increase that. That's not enough. Well, why isn't it enough? Kiever, I'm just in one of these moods where I'm tired. I'm tired of the stupid games. I'm tired of hidden agendas. I'm tired of having people in my face telling me I have to do this, I have to do that. I'm tired of having the government lie to me. I'm tired of people like Psaki saying up there saying it's none of our business how many people in the White House have come down with the COVID. Well, it's none of your business. Why do you need to know? There are employees. That's why we need to know. I'm tired of these elected officials forgetting that they work for us. I'm tired of cops, nurses, firefighters. Morning, Johnny. I'm tired of all these people forgetting that they get their paycheck from the public tax dollars. That paycheck comes from us. We are their employers. They've got certain authorities and certain responsibilities as part of their job. But other than that, they're not, they put on that outfit, they put on their suits, their uniforms, they put on their badges, strap on their guns. They're not all of a sudden the infallible person sitting there with the authority to tell me what I've got to do. Unless I'm breaking a law, I'm still a free citizen and they're no better than I am. I'm tired of seeing people who think that I've got elected into office. I'm now your boss. I know better than you do. No, you don't know better than I do. You got elected in office because more people thought that you represented their views. Okay, Johnny. I'm going to go into work today. And it's going to, let's see, who am I relieving? Okay. The person I'm relieving is all right, I'm going to go into work today. It's going to be a great day for the first 6 hours, 7 hours. My last hour, the person that's going to be relieving me is someone who is there for a paycheck only. They don't give two squats about the job. They're there to do as little as they possibly can and to get the paycheck. Their notations are absolutely horrible. I'm having to redo forms that we fill out during the shift because their handwriting is so bad that I'm having to take it down to check marks because I can't read their handwriting to know what happened on their shift. This is not going to be an interesting stream for you guys. It's really not, because this is going to be me yelling at the sky, literally yelling at the sky today. Because I'm just so fed up with some of this crap across the board. If I didn't have a good conscience, I would call into work right now and tell them, you don't want me there. But I know that causes a hardship to the boss because then he would have to work a double shift. And I hate making him work a double shift because it's not fair to him. It's not fair to make somebody work shifts that they weren't expecting to work at the last minute without good reason. And the reason of I don't feel like going to work just isn't a good enough reason. Okay, sweetie. Saying it in jest, Johnny, that's one. It's just the ease what she called me sweetie. Like, she's known me forever. She's known me long enough to know that, that we're intimate enough that she can call me sweetie. I just met her 2 minutes earlier, and she's calling me sweetie. That's not the way it should be. That's not showing your customer, the person who's paying your paycheck. Because without customers, you don't get a paycheck. And when I was back talking to the doctor, asking some questions, he goes, "Oh, well, the girls up front handle that. I just work here." I was like, "Excuse me?" He goes, "Yeah, they tell me what I need to do." Excuse me? You're the doctor. This is your office. And you let them tell you what you have to do when you're going to do it? What kind of... No wonder them women up there thought that they can run roughshod over everyone. Well, the dude at Supercuts calls you sweetie. I would be finding me a new barber. I would definitely be finding me a new barber. A male barber calling me sweetie or hun. That would be the end of it. Yeah, when the barber I had for the longest, man, I love this woman. She stood there one day, and I was one of these guys. I kept my sideburns to the absolute max limit that I was allowed to carry by regs, and she knew it. Well, one day got in there, got a new barber, and I had to use her instead of my regular barber. And then I sit down, I tell her what I want. I said, need my hair tightened up a bit, weekly haircut, get me back, make sure I'm well within regs for the next week. Thin out the sideburns a little, don't shorten them. And she's up there doing her thing, and next thing I know, I feel them clippers chopping off my sideburn on one side. Then she went over and did the other side. I stood up, took off the apron thingy, handed it back to her, and said, "Thank you much." I went to walk out. She goes, "Oh no, you got to pay for my haircut, for that haircut." I looked at her. I looked over at my regular barber. My regular barber looked at her and said, "He told you not to mess with his sideburns, not to shorten them. You shortened them. He just got a free haircut. You've got to learn to listen to your customers." And, the new barber, she stood there, but his sideburns were that. And she goes, that's his problem, not yours. Your job is to give him the haircut he asked for, not what you think he needed. And I think that's a mistake a lot of places make, is the customer comes in and the business, they don't listen to what the customer wants. They give them what they think the customer needs. Now, sometimes, in the case of a doctor or a professional, I mean, if I've got a plumbing issue and the plumber comes out and says, you need to have this done to get your plumbing to work right, well then, if it's a plumber I trust, then the plumber is right and that's what I need to have done. I take my car into the mechanic and the mechanic says, you need to get this part replaced on your vehicle, or I'm not going to guarantee that your car is going to make it down the road 10 miles. Then I'm going to get that part replaced. Because I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a plumber. So there are times where, yes, the business does know better, but you still give the customer what they want. That customer sits there and says, no, I don't want you to fix that line. No, I don't want you to replace that part. No, I don't want you to not to do this. Then you shrug your shoulders and you give the customer what they paid for. Even though you know better, the customer, you still give them what they paid for. You don't do more or less than what the customer asks unless the customer has agreed to it. And I think that's lost with a lot of places today. Just as it's a lost art to give your customers respect. Oh, Sean, you are so right. I've been looking at, I think the only movie I'm even close to looking at wanting to go see is that one called Stillwater. I think that's about the only movie and unfortunately it's got Matt Damon in it, but other than that, the movie looks like it's might be pretty good. But I've got the MCU and DCU movies, I've got no interest in seeing them anymore. They started off great with Iron Man. And then by the end of it, they started screwing it up. And I only watched the last one because it was a 2-part movie when it comes down to it. But I've got no interest in watching any of these new Superman movies coming out. I've got no interest in the new He-Man series. I've got no interest in any of them. I saw the artwork. I saw the actors that they're bringing in to play them. And I've just got no interest in watching them. I've got no interest. When I see that you're race-swapped characters, gender-swapped characters, gender and race-swapped characters, took characters that were heterosexual and made them homosexual. I've got no interest. Why go to a movie that I know that, or play a game I know is going to make me mad, that I'm not going to enjoy, that I can't sit back and I mean, it'd be like one of my favorite book series is The Dragon Riders of Pern. And I go in there to watch that. If I were to go watch that movie based on that series, there are certain characters and such I would expect to see acting in certain ways. Because I've read those books, God, at least a dozen times each. Every book in the series. Yeah. Now, I quit playing D&D when they got rid of THACO. When they said they wasn't going to do THACO anymore, I decided that was the end of it for me. You know, well, it makes it easier. No, you've taken away part of the game. Part of the game that made it fun. Oh, gee whiz, you have to do a little math or have a cheat sheet. And I mean, I was old school. When I say old school D&D, I mean a graph paper, and a pencil, the dice, and the books. That was all you needed. You didn't need characters. You didn't need dungeon kits. You didn't need miniatures. You didn't need any of that because it was all on graph paper or in your brain. Oh, the Fiend Folio was the book. Brian, 3-ring binders. I don't remember. Excuse me. I don't remember that. Okay, Johnny, come in here and give me some hell.
Hi, sweetie. How
Hi,
we doing this morning?
I'm doing just fine. And how about you?
You crusty old fucker, man. Sitting there trying to drink my coffee and listen to 15 minutes of Don't Call Me Honey unless you're sleeping with me.
Well,
I come to you for news. I come to you for current events, not some crusty old fucker whining about his doctor.
well, that's what this crusty old fart had to whine about today. I'm sorry, but you missed the news portion of it.
No, I've been here since you started.
Oh, were you? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I as Becky calls it, I was dirty lurking.
Okay. Yeah, because the big news right now going on is the Kangaroo Court.
I ain't watching that shit.
And I'm not watching it.
Yeah, fuck that.
It's like I posted on Monkey's stream this morning. You already know what's going to happen by the names of the people that's on the committee. It's a foregone conclusion how it's going to go. So why even bother? And when the opening statements were as bad as I knew they were going to be.
I didn't even watch that shit. I can't do it. I can't. They've already decided what happened. I mean, we've been listening to 6-7 months now. What happened? Why are we investigating this when you guys have already told us what you think happened? Fuck off.
What they're developing enough of a storyline to play for the next election, both the midterm and presidential elections. They're trying to build the basis. You can't trust these Republicans because look what they did. No, they're using that to counteract the 18 months and more of left-wing violence that they've all approved of, that they're on record for saying that they approved of, and they wanted more to happen.
Yeah, see, I would just like some consistency from these bastards. And it's not just the Democrats, it's fucking everybody in Hollywood. It's, the so-called influencers in our society that are
they've
buying
got
into this bullshit.
consistency. It's just they've got consistency.
Okay, yeah.
They're consistently dishonest.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, all right.
But yeah, there's it's a cluster, and even the Republicans, even the people up there I like, I think they all need to be voted out, even the ones I like.
Yeah,
I mean, as much as I like Jim Jordan, he needs to go.
They all need to go. Every single one of them.
We need to get a whole new clean house, clean slate, and start over from scratch.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
Oh, I know it's not, because everybody else's representative is crooked, but mine's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Your guy's really crooked. You need to vote him out. But oh no, my guy's great. I love him.
I keep telling people, go look at what they were worth before they took their seat in Congress. And now look at them. Don't tell me these motherfuckers aren't doing some shady shit behind the scenes. Shit, they're doing it out in front of us too. But go look at what they were worth. Maxine Waters, Pelosi, McConnell, go look at what they were worth before they took their seats. And now look at how much they're worth.
Oh, that stuff Pelosi's husband, $5 million made in just a few hours on something that, Pelosi didn't tell her husband what was going to happen. No,
no, that wasn't a topic of conversation over, dinner table.
No, they didn't have their broker in there, to discuss this issue. No, come over for a few drinks and a steak dinner and $20 a pint ice cream.
Oh, you are not happy today, are you?
I like I said, today is a day that I'm just angry about everything. There's absolutely nothing I'm not angry about. I'm even angry about my damn dog right now.
What's wrong with your dog? Oh, how is your dog? It wasn't doing well last week.
The stupid mutt now.
Wait a minute. No. Last week it was, I'm worried about my dog. My dog might be sick,
well, now,
yada, yada.
Yeah.
And now it's the stupid mutt.
The stupid mutt, all right, is outside. Won't come in. Right? He's been outside now. It's 10:50 my time. He's been outside since 6:30 this morning. All right. He sits there and he whines at the door. He wants back in the house. I let him in. He walks over to the water bowl, takes a drink of water, goes right back to the door and starts to whine. He wants back out again. Meanwhile, I've got him a fresh bowl of water in a cooler, electric cooler that keeps that water chilled all day in the shade for him. But that water isn't good enough for him. He's got to come in and he'll bark at the door till I let him in, go spend 2 minutes at his water dish, then want to go right back out again.
Did you ever consider your dog's fucking with you? Just saying.
Yeah.
And Shio, the hell is up with shower oranges? I opened my Discord up this morning.
What is a shower orange?
I have no fucking idea. Apparently, I missed something last night in our Discord because my whole Discord is just full of shower oranges. And I'm like, fuck, he said orange while you're taking a shower. I get, after you've been working out in the backyard all day, you'll take a cold beer in while you're showering off. Yeah, I got that. But an orange? Really? Who the hell does that? Shio, what the hell's wrong with you?
Wait a minute. take an actual orange that you would eat.
Yeah.
The
Apparently,
citrus.
apparently they peel them in the shower too. They don't peel them outside the shower. They take them in the shower and peel them inside the shower. Again, my Discord was full of this morning. What the hell? I'm not clicking that, Shio.
Shio, what are you doing to us, Shio?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I felt guilty last night when I went to bed early too, because they were all going to jump in voice chat, and I'm like, I'm too tired. I can go to bed early. Glad I did. I'm glad I did. I'd have woke up like you this morning, all pissed off.
All right, I'm going to open this up into a separate page. I'm going to take a look at why is everyone eating oranges in the shower?
Because
this is something that come off of NPR and Reddit. Okay, all right. Shower oranging did not change my life or morph my taste buds into super buds, but it was delicious and fun. Highly recommended for those who love eating, showering, and being ridiculous, or combination of the three. Well, first of all, when I get in the shower, from the time I wash my hair to the time I wash my feet and everything between and betwixt is less than 3 minutes. 4 or 5 minutes if I've got sore muscles.
See, that's why you're so pissed off all the time. You don't just enjoy a hot shower. You gotta enjoy a hot shower. Relax.
That's a waste of water.
Oh, fuck.
If I'm going to do that, I'm going to take the little kiddie pool I've got out back, fill that up with the water, put it in the sun for a few hours, and go lay in it.
Wait, what? They take kitchen utensils in the shower with them? So what the hell? Am I missing something here? You don't take kitchen utensils into the shower to eat. Don't do it.
What's the first recorded sexual act mentioned on TV?
Oh, no.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to know.
You left before the good part of our show happened last night.
What's that?
We ended up with fidget spinner butt plugs.
Oh.
You can blame Becca on that one. Becca got us searching for stuff, and that's what we came up with. I can send you a picture if you'd like.
No. That's not something I'm really super anxious to know. I mean, I was very happy not to have known such a thing existed.
Sorry.
Okay.
Man. Sorry.
You know, that's
yeah. Becca had to excuse herself from the stream. She was laughing so hard. You miss all the fun at night while you're off working.
Yeah. Well, see, I listen to you guys until I get home. I listen to you on my drive home from work. But then once I get in that, as soon as I shut off the truck, though, no, don't ban Becca. Don't ban Becca. Becca's too much fun.
I don't know what I'd do without that girl, man. She had me dying last night.
The thing about your show is I've got to get up at 6:30 in the morning. So I can't listen to it much past 11 when I get home from work.
You're probably better off that way.
Well, 11:30 when I get home from work.
We used to be more scripted, and Moo has just tossed that right out the window. So we have no idea where we're ever going. You know.
Well, I usually get up in the morning, get my coffee, sit down, drink it, and then I come back, turn on the computer, and I start looking. I know, I've got an idea of what's happened the day before in the news because, of course, I'm keeping up on Twitter and such throughout the day. But, and I tell you, I love Forbes because I can get into the hearings and see what's happened at the hearings or during, like Psaki, they're basically saying it's none of your business how many people have got the vid in the White House. We got 2,000 people there, and it's none of your business how many have gotten coming down with COVID. Yes, it is our business because these people are in and around the president and the chief of staff and the joint chiefs of staff and everybody else that is attempting to run this country into the hellhole.
Well, 2 weeks after they announced that they're going to start sending people to our front doors to find out, they're not going to answer one simple question. And you're right. She's becoming an expert at not answering the question that's asked. A very simple question, and she couldn't do it. She just can't do it. They can't do it. They can't just tell the fucking truth.
It's not that it's not that I can't because I don't have the answer. It's I won't, and I'm going to baffle. What was that? If you can't dazzle them with your brilliance, baffle them with your bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing. Is they don't even try to dazzle; they just go straight to the baffle. Start reading off CDC guidelines for something that's got nothing to do with the question, except in the most obscure way possible.
Well, I can't believe that they're going to try to lock us down again. It didn't work the first time, and you're going to try it again. And everybody, I don't know. This is why I hate Twitter. I hate getting up first thing in the morning and firing Twitter up, but that's become my life. And all I see is we need masks back. We need lockdowns back. But why? It doesn't work. Everything I keep seeing is, look, you would be better if you got it and got over it. We would be moving on by now. But no.
I have not even put other than doctor's appointments, because all these doctors still have the big signs there. You must have a mask on when entering. And that was something else. Is not a single person in that staff had a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
But they demanded all of us, all the patients, wear a mask.
Yeah.
It's like, what in the hell is going on here?
Well, they're shooting for lockdowns again.
Oh yeah, they found out how nice it was to have absolute power.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as much as they could get, and the Supreme Court has already shot the warning bow. Gave him the warning shot across the bow that they've been overstepping their constitutional bounds with this ruling over the CDC and controlling evictions and such.
Well, have you seen that crap that's going on in France?
Oh yeah, now that have to give passport, they're basically going to the passport.
Mm-hmm. And you're not allowed to go to public places unless you have been shot. I have a feeling it's coming this way because Australia, they're blowing up too.
Oh, Australia is the only country I know of that goes on complete lockdown for 2 people getting diagnosed with the vid. And one person died from it. An 80-year-old man dies and he had COVID. Immediate lockdown. And the police are out there, was it $5,000 fine if you're caught violating the lockdown?
Yeah.
It's like,
I was happy to see all the people out protesting this crap, but it doesn't seem to matter because we saw the protests for the last couple of weeks in France, and then France passed their, fly by night while y'all are sleeping. We're going to pass this, so you have to, if you're going to be out in public, you have to have the shot or you have to have proof. And I'm worried that our fucking government's going to pull that shit.
So far, the Biden administration is following the Constitution unwilling by admitting that they don't have the right to federally mandate that it has to be at the state and local level. Even Psaki's press conference yesterday, she said that it has to come from the local government and the state government.
Yeah, but we've got half the country that's willing to go along with the federal government on this, and nobody's willing to stand up to them.
Well, no, because you've got several governors. My governor here in Florida. You got Abbott in Texas. You've got governors, Kristi Noem, I think that's her name. South Dakota. Yeah. You've got a lot of governors, Republican governors out there, who are telling the federal government, kiss grits. It's not going to happen in my state. Unfortunately, you've got the Democrat, liberal governors and city councils and such, like you're suffering with there in California, West Virginia, Michigan, that are willing to do it. But that's because they got that taste of absolute power during the first year of that. That's the longest 2 weeks I'd ever seen.
Yeah. Well, did you see what my governor said? I think it was yesterday, that people that are unvaccinated are equivalent to drunk drivers. And it's like, God damn, you people are fucking going off the rails here. Come on.
No, I missed that.
Like I say, I think he's gearing up to lock the state down again. I'm surprised he left it open for a month, to be honest.
Well, your Newsom's got a problem, though, a very big problem, and his name's Larry Elder.
It's not gonna change squat here in California, though, because we have a super majority up there in Sacramento. We're screwed no matter who's governor.
California is the one state with the stupidest law I've ever heard of.
Just one.
Well, this one law where the governor can independently declare anything an emergency and dictate from the office, bypassing the legislative body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And while it's been used by Democrats for since before Schwarzenegger, that's when if Elder gets elected and he gets in there and he starts using it to take away state power, to eliminate a bunch of paperwork and a bunch of regulations and a bunch of stuff, then the Democrats are going to be on the sad end of that stick.
We hope.
Did you watch Elder's interview with Dave Rubin?
No, not yet. I actually have that bookmarked.
Yeah, you need to watch that. That was taped a couple of days before he won his court case to get put on the ballot. But it's a good interview.
Dave Rubin has been one of the few people that has been just railing on this whole thing too. So I appreciate Dave Rubin, what he's been doing. And yeah, I saw that crap. The CDC is, they backpedaled and said, we need to mask up indoors again, even if you're vaccinated. I read the article this morning from the New York Post.
Yeah, there's enough that they've got, and there's enough people at our level pushing back against a lot of this stuff, that some of these organizations like the CDC are backpedaling some. Unfortunately, we're only got so much, and face it, we've got no real say until election time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And there's enough people that are willing to just go in lockstep with what the government wants right now. It blows my mind. I am happy I'm on social media and I'm on Twitter and all that, but it just blows my mind that these people are willing to stand up and scream from the rooftops, you have to mask up, you have to vaccinate, and they have no concept. They're not willing to understand where people like me are coming from. I'm not vaccinating my 15-year-old son. Get the hell out of my face with that. I'm seeing too many reports of kids going to the emergency room with, symptoms of having a heart attack at 15.
Right.
But we need to, they're talking about, I'm going to have to get my 8-year-old son vaccinated. Get the hell out of here. I'm not doing it.
Now, you homeschool your kids, right?
Yeah, we have to. I can't do it. California, because the education system is more about social justice than it is about actually educating my children. When we were going to put Johnny in kindergarten, 3 years ago, the governor at the time, I think it was Brown, mandated that he needed to learn and accept the LGBT lifestyle. You need to learn, accept, support the LGBTQ lifestyle. And I'm like, he's 5. He's 5 years old. This is not something he needs to deal with.
Yeah, at his age, he doesn't need to, the idea of two men having sex should not be something that's in his vocabulary.
Yeah. And it's, it wasn't just, like a one class thing or a 1 week thing. It was for the entire school year, for the curriculum. I mean, they had to include this shit in the curriculum. And we yanked Moo out when they mandated that they were going to, in the second grade, you have to understand why there are, the LGBT, or not the trans bathrooms. That's what it was. And it was like, no, my 8-year-old does not need to know about this crap. And my 8-year-old does not want to go into the bathroom and pee next to a woman.
Well, if a woman is standing up at the urinal peeing, that's something I'd like to see.
I've seen it. It's not pretty. It's not pretty.
One of my fishing and camping books had a little device for women to use while they're wearing the camouflage and the two layers of thermals and everything else that you need for northern hunting, and had a little device that they could wear to aid them for urination while standing without having to undress to do it.
Oh, no. God damn it. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, it was actually sold by mail order. You could order it along with your hunting gear. It
See,
was
my eyes were opened up to women peeing standing up when I was about 11. I was out partying with my 16-year-old cousin, and the girls all ran off to pee. And then after they were done, we ran off to pee. Well, we found out that girls walk while they pee standing up. Couldn't figure it out. We were like, why y'all walking while you're peeing? We don't want to get any splash on us. Okay, that's more information I needed. Thank you. Moving on.
Yep, moving on. How do we get talking about women peeing?
I don't know. Well, because my son didn't want to pee next to a girl.
Right.
So, and I didn't blame him. And at the time, they were pushing for the trans men. That's when Target went full, SJW. You can pick any bathroom you want, depending on the day. It's like, well, if you wake up feeling like a woman, you can use our women's bathroom today. And I'm like, because most of Moo's friends at the time were girls. And I'm like, I see a man go into a woman's bathroom after one of those little girls, yanking that fucker out by his neck. I'm sorry. It's not because I'm transphobic. I don't want a man peeing next to a little girl.
Grab that beard of his and pull him backwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you get somebody like Blair White going in there, you never know the difference.
And Blair White probably wouldn't bother me either, because Blair White lives it. I mean, there's no I woke up this morning feeling like I'm a woman today, and tomorrow I'm going to wake up feeling like, a horse. And then Blair
Okay,
White
Sean, we
lives
didn't
it.
need to be reminded of that person.
Who? Oh,
Yaniv.
no. Yeah. Yaniv's one of the ones I would grab by the throat and yank him out of the bathroom. Yeah, because that one, it's not, they're not trying squat. They're using it.
Right.
They're using it to their advantage.
Shio, you've got me going to Reddit more today than I've gone to Reddit in the past 5 years. Because I quit going to Reddit because it got so crazy. I was on a couple areas of Reddit that were a pretty adult conversation discussing electronics and other serious stuff like that. And then the left wing took it over. You know the good Reddits, huh? Okay.
Yeah, right. I've seen what you pull off Reddit, Shio.
All right. Reddit. Yeah. I see that people get turned off when a man moan during sex, huh? Well, first of all, how many people are in there watching that guy have sex? Huh? There's only be one other person there to know whether or not that man is moaning.
Don't click Shio's links. Just don't. I'm going to teach you what I've been trying to teach Becca for months. Don't click those links ever.
I could get a good laugh at him.
Well, Moo goes to Reddit, and I can't do Reddit. There's just too much freaky shit there. Just too much. I can't do it. These people are crazy. They're insane. And again, Shio, all right, Shio, you were good last night. He was good last night. He sent me something that we could actually use on the show. But usually his DMs sit in his DMs just sit there for a month before I'm strong enough to open them.
Okay, yeah, like here's one. Having oral sex is overrated. That's supposed to be a conversation starter?
Well, yeah, that would start a conversation.
There's some I think there's people throwing stuff out there just to throw it out.
Mm-hmm.
How strange can I get? But then there's been some. Some of the people on Twitter that I've somehow gotten involved with.
Do you ever ask yourself, how the hell did I find this person?
Yeah.
Why is this person in my timeline? Yes, I get some of the freaky shit come through my timeline, and I'm like, do I follow you? Son of a bitch, I do follow. Why do I follow you?
Exactly. How did I get to the point that I'm following somebody saying this or doing that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yes, I have your computer, baby. I'll give it back in a little bit. Because I'm on stream with Shroom. My youngest just woke up. And I stole his computer to come join you. So
well,
he's a little pissed off at me.
Why is he? It's a 11:15. Well, no, it's 9:15 your time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just now waking up?
Yes. I have a family of night owls. What can I say? We are more vampire than we are human. If Moog goes to bed before 3:00, I think he's sick.
No, Shio, the last time I watched Copper Cab, willingly watched Copper Cab. All right.
Willingly.
Because there's been some times somebody's thrown a video at me that I didn't realize it was Copper until it's too late. Was the first time that he put on a dress and makeup.
Oh, Claire Cab.
And it was like, okay, that's it. No more. I'm done with you.
Oh, shit. I got videos to send you for days now.
I mean, he because he was one of those lolcows that I loved, you know, because I could always find a reason to laugh at him. You know, but
see, it's not just me.
But that was
Shio, I haven't watched Copper Cab in almost a month, man. Okay, I watch him every once in a while. But when he dressed up like Belle Delphine, I'll be sending you that video, man.
No,
yeah. You need to see that, man.
Why?
Because I had to see it. That's why. I have to see it. You have to see it. Oh, that's right. I'm going to have to add you to the list of if I have to see it, you have to see it. Pat is not happy with me since I added him to the list. Like, what the hell are you sending me, Johnny? Nothing. Just some fat broad with mayonnaise smeared all over. No big deal. I'm broadening your horizons, man.
What if I don't want that horizon broadened?
Well, because mine had to be broadened, so does yours.
There are some horizons that were not meant to get broadened out. They're meant to remain close, you know, and encased, and you know, free from contamination from the lunatics in the world.
Well, that will teach you to get on Twitter now, won't it?
Well, see, I mostly follow Congress critters.
Yeah, I do too.
I follow a lot of Congress critters.
But you also follow a lot of YouTube people too.
Not as many as you might think. I mean, like I follow you and Monkey, Scribe, Alex.
Do you follow Jack Cochran?
Yeah, well,
okay.
I follow all his stuff because his videos are great.
Yeah, I get the best cancer in my timeline from him. He puts some of the most bizarre crap out there, and he posts a lot of TikTok videos too. TikTok needs to be nuked into the sun. I'm sorry, we need to fire that right off into the sun, and all the people that post on TikTok need to get out. Y'all are crazy.
I must not be following the right, because I don't see that much of his stuff.
You lucky bastard.
I don't see a lot of his stuff out there on Twitter.
I yell at him at least twice a week, for the crap that comes through my timeline. No, we're not talking about that, Shio.
Okay. No, Shio. I've got 10 minutes left. Okay, bud. I've got 10 minutes left. Have mercy on me for this last 10 minutes because I've got to go to work after that. Okay.
All right. I'm going to do this solid here.
We are so short. This is how shorthanded we are at work. All right. We're taking turns pulling 10 and 12-hour shifts because we have to have 24-hour coverage. So we're taking turns pulling 10 and 12-hour shifts so that the boss doesn't have to do it every day.
That's awfully nice of you.
And today's my day. I'll go in at noon and I'll get out at 11 tonight.
You getting paid overtime for this?
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I like working 10, 12-hour shifts. You're getting old, though, man.
I can remember, up until 3 years ago, 3 years ago, I worked 2 jobs, 2 full-time jobs. I did security for many years. And they liked having me as security, 6'3", big guy, a voice I could drop an octave if I needed to, and I had all my own gear from that I brought in to work with me every night, from a monocle to binoculars to a 6D cell flashlight. I'm not allowed to be armed, but I've got a flashlight that got 6D cell batteries in it. I'm not allowed to carry a pocket knife, but I can carry that flashlight. It's amazing. What you do to get around the rules sometimes, especially during spring break when you're dealing with drunk college kids.
Oh, no. I could not do that.
Well, see, they always stuck me out at the main gate. Trying to keep the trespassers out.
Well, yeah, you're the big guy.
Right. I was the big guy.
Yeah. I know. When I worked at the ski resort, they always saying, hey, dude, there's a car in the parking lot at 3 o'clock in the morning. Go down and see what they want. You kiss my ass. I ain't going down there.
But, my boss, the guy that owned the company, he was a devil. Sneaky SOB. And I found out he did this after he pulled it on me. He would send somebody in, like one of the condos I was at was like walking distance to 2 of the most popular nightclubs. And the nightclub parking lots were always full. So he'd send somebody over to me and offer me up to $600 to allow this guy to, I'll give you $600 if you let me park my car here for the night.
Jesus.
Okay. And, I'd always, I turned him down. Finally said, listen, you need to leave the property. You're not allowed here. If you don't leave now, I'm just going to have to take the final step and call the cops and have you you've already been trespassed. I'll have to have you arrest for violating a trespass and have your car towed. And then he left, and 5 minutes later, my boss showed up and asked me how my night was going. Then come to find out he did that to all the security guards at the gates to make certain that they weren't allowing people not authorized in the parking lots to go there.
Well, that's a dick move.
Yeah,
I get why he does it, but still, that's a dick move.
yeah. And one of the reasons why he wanted to test me is I refused to go to the spring break areas for less than $25 an hour. You want me out there dealing with spring breakers? It's going to cost you $25 an hour to do it.
Yeah, no, not even for $25 an hour. I don't want to deal with a bunch of drunk teenagers. I remember me being a drunk teenager. No.
It made life fun.
No. There's a reason I work nights at a ski resort, man. Didn't have to deal with the public ever.
Oh, the reason why I work nights is it's easier on my body. I just have to go out and walk around the perimeter of the hotel every now and again and make sure none of the homeless guys are camping around us.
Good thing you don't work in LA, because that's all that is camping around the hotels out there now, even in Beverly Hills.
Now, Sean, I thought about that, but $600, even that's only a couple of days' work, and I was working 80 hours a week on that job. I don't, I literally had somebody ask me because they found out that I have an ability to get through locked doors. And they asked me to take them through some locked doors. And I told them that the only way I would do that if I was going to get paid enough money that I could leave the country, buy an island, and never come back. Because no amount of money was worth going to jail over.
No amount?
Like I said, it'd have to pay me enough that I could leave the country, buy an island, and be able to live there for the rest of my life in comfort.
So there is an amount of money.
There is an amount of money. You just got to come up with all that money.
Fine.
All right.
Details.
Yeah, details. It's what was that? Who was it? Was it Churchill talked to some woman? And, it's like, he asked her to do something and she said you'd cost him X number of dollars. And, the end of the conversation was, we've already figured out you're a whore. It's just a matter of dickering on the price now.
Fuck.
I can't remember how that goes. Well, I want to say it was Churchill. Story about Winston Churchill. But yeah, there's a. I've been keeping an eye on these, watching off the side here, CNN. These guys are having, I swear they've all got to go change their clothes. They're so giddy over these hearings.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to think about what MSNBC's like.
Oh, it's the same crap that we've been seeing for the last 4 or 5 years. Anytime they can exploit something for ratings, they fucking do it, and they don't care. The fact that, did you see that video from the Sky News broadcaster in Australia talking about Joe Biden and what a disgrace he is?
No, I didn't.
He went off for 2 minutes on the town hall last week that Joe Biden did, talking about, if you're vaccinated, you're not going to get COVID, all this crap.
Okay.
And the dude blew up. Dude's like, this guy's mental capacity is not there. Blew up for 2 minutes. And I'm like, this should have been every journalist in America the day after that town hall. But it takes a guy from Australia to do it. Come on.
Was that Laura Trump? Oh, no, Laura. No, this year's off of Fox. That was Democrats. Because I just put in Sky News Biden.
Do Sky News Biden town hall. I guess it's Australia. Let me see if I have it. If I have it, I'll send it to you. I'm not sure if I deleted that or not. But yeah, it was finally someone was saying what we all are thinking. Man should not be in office. Man should be in a home. And he's at the town hall making complete fool out of himself and our country. And Don Lemon sat there and took all this crap. Didn't call him out once. Your job is to call power out, you dick.
Well, not when it's somebody that he likes. Not when it's somebody pushing the agenda he likes. And Chuck Schumer. I don't know if you saw my response to Chuck Schumer's tweet about. He said today's a good day for Biden and Harris to rescind or to forgive student debt. And it's like, wait a second, since when does Harris have the power and authority to do that? Unless what you're saying is Biden is so feeble-minded that he doesn't make too many decisions without going through Harris first.
I'm not even sure she's calling the shots at this point.
Oh, I doubt if she is. I mean, I'd leave it. I'm afraid to think of who's actually calling the shots up there.
Yeah, me too.
Is it Jill Biden? Is it Pelosi and Schumer?
Well, Jill seems to know more about what's going on than either Harris or Joe. So it makes me wonder if she's not pulling the crap that Woodrow Wilson's wife pulled when he had a stroke while he was in office. She's sitting there behind the scenes doing all this crap.
I mean, you sit there and listen to Biden talk off the cuff or trying to answer a question, and you get 3 minutes of rambling before all of a sudden he sort of sets up straight, and then he gives a coherent answer. And I'm constantly looking for the Bluetooth.
Yeah, me too.
I'm always looking to figure out which ear he's got that Bluetooth in, and it's always got to be the one that they're not showing on camera. Because if you'll notice, they only show one side of his face all the time. So you think, that Bluetooth's got to be hidden on the other side. It's not like he's got any hair to hide.
Yeah.
His plugs have given up. God, I can remember when he got those plugs. I remember watching him during the Clarence Thomas hearings, and them plugs are freshly installed.
All right, the videos are being sent to your Twitter. Guy actually calls him out. I was shocked. I'll be honest, I was shocked because nobody's called this out. Nobody. And I don't get it. I don't honestly get it. The guy is a buffoon. Did you see that video from yesterday where I think they asked him about immigration. He said something about my butt's been wiped. Wait, excuse me?
What?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
No, I did not see.
They asked him something about the border, and all you hear him say is something about his butt being wiped. And I'm like, wow, he didn't even take credit for wiping his own butt. He just said it was wiped. I'll see if I can't pull that one off. Wow, that's the first search when you see my butt.
You know, or the mom and dad.
What the president has said. Listen to this.
Okay, what happened to it? What did my Twitter go and do? All right, let me try this one more time.
You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
Yeah. That's not true. But the bloke's unchallenged. And then this incoherent rambling about men on the moon and aliens. Listen to this embarrassing diatribe.
You got the vaccination?
Yeah.
Are you okay? I mean, you seem no, it works. Or or the mom and dad, or the neighbor, or when you go to church, or when you're. No, I really mean it. There are.
That or of his is going to soon replace his "Come on, man" as his catch line.
Trust your locker doors. Think of the people. If your kid wanted to find out whether or not there's a man on the moon or whatever, something, or whether those aliens are here or not, who are the people they talk to beyond the kids who love talking about it?
What? Man on the moon, something. What the hell has this got to do about anything? This is a town hall meeting. The bloke's unchallenged in his rambling. Listen to this. He actually tries to explain what the question is and then makes an appalling mess of answering his own question.
And the question is whether or not we should be in a position where you are. Why can't the experts say we know that this virus is in fact is going to be, or excuse me, we know why all the drugs approved are not temporarily approved.
Man, that is just sad. That is just. I'm sorry, but this is. Come on, Grandpa, it's time for your medicine.
And a nap. And a nap. You need to lay down, Joe.
That is. This is just embarrassing.
Leader of the free world, man.
Oh, for God's sake. This virus is, in fact, it's going to be, excuse me, we know why all the drugs are temporarily approved, but permanently approved. I mean, listen to this again. The President of the United States at a town hall meeting, and someone doesn't say, get off the stage. You're embarrassing the free world and obscuring the coronavirus message. Listen to this.
We know that this virus is, in fact, it's going to be, or excuse me, we know why all the drugs approved are not temporarily approved, but permanently approved.
Yeah, that's just sad. That's something that needs that.
I swear, we have 3.5 years of this crap ahead of us too.
No, we don't. We've got 1.5 years.
Yeah,
he's going to be in office at the most 2 years and 1 day.
Yeah,
where they 25th him.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Becca's been calling that from the time he got elected.
So have I.
Yeah, I think I think you guys are absolutely right.
And come on, and they may end up having to go sooner though. That'll screw up their plans to have Kamala in for 10 years.
Yeah, but they're starting to worry about her because she is not polling well with the average citizen in the United States.
She was polling so poorly to start with. She blew $40 million and couldn't get a damn vote in the primaries. She polled so bad she dropped out before the first ballot was cast. No, they picked her. He picked her because of the color of her skin and what she's got between her legs. She filled 2 squares with 1. That, and I hear she does amazing work from her knees.
You guys are so bad. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No,
I was happy to see her get the hell out of California, but I'm not happy now. I'm not happy. And again, you can, guys, you can blame the Republican Party for her because they didn't run anybody against her in the state of California when she ran for Senate. Nobody. She ran unopposed here in California.
she was locked for the job. I mean, how many Republicans do y'all actually have in your legislature there?
I don't know. Last I saw it was in the teens.
Yeah. Oh, is it really that many? I figure you can count them on one hand and have a finger or 2 left over.
No, we actually have a couple of like the county I live in. It's the most conservative in California, and then the county just south of us, Orange County. But
Yeah, well, I remember in Orange County used to be rock solid blue, Republican.
Yeah. And it was up until, was it 2018 when the Democrats started, ballot harvesting and all that. I was blown away by what happened in Orange County in 2018. And yes, I got enough sleep, Becca. Went to sleep early last night. Didn't stay up talking about snakes and oranges and whatever the hell you guys did in my Discord.
Becca, I tell you, they tried to bring you back into. They tried to bring your favorite subject into me this morning, and I had to put a stop to it.
I did not.
You tried. You wanted it. You wanted it, and I said no.
I told you what she got us going down, what road we started down because Becca asked us to do a search. Okay, maybe she didn't ask us to do a search. We did the search on our own.
Northern California, is that pretty Republican up there?
No. Oh, hell no. No, Northern California. Shit, they've been trying. Northern California has been blue for as long as I've been alive. It is, and it's not just blue, it's progressive blue is what it is.
Oh, no, I wouldn't let him do it, Becca. I told him no, it wasn't going to happen.
See, now, Shroom, you're daring me, man.
No, I'm not daring you. I'm not daring you. Remember, I can do that.
Do what? Not what? Yeah, what? All right, you bastard. Yeah, you're gonna want to check your DMs when you get off this stream, buddy.
And speaking of which, I need to end it here pretty soon, so I've got to leave in 15 minutes to go to work.
Well, you make sure you check your DMs before you leave.
Yeah, okay. I'll do that after I put my shoes on and chase the dog down. And I plug my cell phone into the charger in the car.
Okay, and I got to give you one last thing to think about during the day.
Okay.
Sheila brought it up. Anal ham sex. Just contemplate that. All right.
No,
really.
I'm not even going to look it up. I'm going to pretend I do not know anything about it. Okay, Swamp Girl. What in the world is Swamp Girl? Shio, should I? Should I?
Oh, this would make Becca's head pop off. Becca doesn't do food in the bathroom. So,
no.
No.
Public bathroom toilet floor orange.
Shio, what the hell is wrong with you? Oh, see what I have to deal with in my Discord.
And you
See what I
love
have
it.
to- No, I
You
don't.
love it.
No, I was thankful that Shio warned us on, I think it was Saturday. He's like, don't check the not safe for work. And I'm like, you're damn right. I have that channel muted. I ain't checking it. And then the conversation about anal ham sex came up, and I'm like, nope, that's it. I'm out. I'm leaving Discord for a couple days. I'm out. I don't want any part of it.
I don't even think I'm a member of your Discord.
No, you are.
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
Which one's yours?
You might want to get the hell out. No opinion.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. No, that makes sense. No opinions. A woman should this. Oh, no. Theo. Oh, okay. On that note,
Oh,
okay, Shio.
God, I hate you, Shio.
All right, Shio. On that note, I'm going to call it. I've got to go. All right. Y'all all have a good day. Johnny, thank you for coming on and help lighten this up. You got me out of the pissed off mood I was in, and I appreciate that.
Anything for you, sweetie. Anything.
I appreciate it because I woke. I actually between the wife and the dog and cat. The wife stole my blankets last night. Then the dog and cat deciding they're going to have a fight in the middle of the bed. I didn't get a whole heck of a lot of sleep last night.
All right. I'm going to give you some advice because my wife does the same thing. I just got my own goddamn blanket.
I do have my own blanket.
Oh, she stole that one too?
And I've got two blankets that are my own. She stole one. The other one is an electric blanket. So I cranked that one on so that I could get some sleep because she likes it like an ice cube in the bedroom. She wants it down at 68 degrees at night. And that's just too cold for me.
You're damn lucky you don't live where I live in the winter because I turned the thermostat down to 64.
And I got no problem with that. As long as I've got my electric blanket to turn on to where I can sleep comfortable.
You big wuss. Get out of here.
No, hey, Johnny, when I was a kid, up and even as an adult going out camping with the Boy Scouts, we did the sub-zero camping trips every year. And I loved them.
But now you're old and crotchety.
But now I don't like the sub-zero stuff anymore. My feet and legs get cold, and then I am absolutely miserable until I can get them warmed up again.
All right. I get it.
You're right. She's 5'3" and stealing my blankets. Anyway, everybody, please have a good day. All right. Be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're with. All right.
And we're not talking about you, Shio.
Shio, yeah, you need to love the ones that you're with, I hope. Because if they don't love you, you're
screwed.
Yeah. All right. Y'all have a good day now. We'll catch it. I'll listen to y'all tonight. Have fun. Good night. Good day.